Hey everybody, my name's Mindy, and we're here today obviously to talk about getting prepared for the ACA open enrollment period, which is coming up very soon. This year it's scheduled to be open from November 1st through January 15th. A little bit different this year, and we're kind of getting used to that. If you haven't sold ACA before, this will be so beneficial for you because there are a few steps that you have to take before you can be allowed to sell those types of plans. So if you have sold it before and you've come here today to get some tips and tricks to help you reach those sales goals, this is also going to be good for you. So hang tight. We're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to go over how to get certified, how to get contracted, and what a good ACA commission actually even looks like, because it is different than the private market. And then we'll also talk about how to explain the difference between ACA and private market plans to your customers and help them determine what's going to be a better fit for them. We'll touch base on things like marketing tips and tricks, buying leads, bundling products, and how many sales you'll need in order to reach your specific goals this season. So before we get too far into this, I'm going to introduce our panel. We are missing a couple today. They had an emergency, so we're missing Lloyd and Carrie, so you're stuck with the three of us. But I want to start by saying that we are all with a company called Independent Agent Solutions, or IAS for short. If you're curious about our company, you can find us online at iasplans.com. You can also call us anytime at 1-800-455-0681, or you can email support@iasplans.com. We do have a fantastic support team, and someone will be available to answer any of your questions and see if we can help you. Now, some of you are already working with us, and some of you are not. We have opened up this training to include all agents, and we like to do that from time to time. Our goal in the industry is to really support agents, and we know there's a lot of agencies, FMOs, IMOs that are wonderful, but maybe just don't give enough support. So we really want to bridge that gap. So first thing I want to do is introduce everybody. I'm going to start with you, Greg. If you don't mind, tell everyone where you're from, what your role is at IAS, and a little bit about your experience in the industry.
Thanks, Minnie. Mm-hmm. This is my 37th year, and I don't feel that old. I hope I don't look that old. A picture of me, oh, man, that's great. So, 37 years, and I started as a agent for Prudential right out of college, and then discovered that the hottest selling product, I was selling life insurance. And when I was out there selling life insurance, so many people that I was trying to sell life insurance to would kind of do a little end around on me and say, hey, listen, we don't want to talk about life insurance, but boy, if you could help us with our health insurance. And that was back in the mid 80s, before health insurance got as crazy overpriced and lack of servicing areas as far as providers as it is today. So there's a huge demand. This is the easiest product to sell, the easiest door to open. And so that's what I got into. The next 35 years of my career, pretty much health insurance specialist, group, individual, Medicare sup. And I've worked in different capacities, anywhere from regional sales director, regional vice president for large insurance companies like Assurant Health, HII, Columbus Life. And the other half of my career, running agencies, running agencies.
Yeah, so Greg's got the most experience definitely of all of us here. But Jacob is an agent, and I know does a lot of contracting, but I like to go to you, Jacob. Tell us a little bit about you. I'll ask you the same questions, and I'm going to unmute you. It looks like you're still on mute there. All right, go ahead.
I unmuted myself. Yeah, my name is Jacob Williams. I'm a licensed agent, but really what I do for the company is more the contracting aspect. So any agents that need contracting, whether it be under 65 or ACA, that's really what I'm involved with. But I'm also from Nashville, Tennessee, just like Mindy. So, yeah.
Perfect. And of course, my name's Mindy. I'm originally from small town Ohio. I've lived in Nashville for 16 years, so it's definitely home now. But I work in the marketing department at IAS, and I specialize in insurance marketing. I've done that for many years through agencies in the past, and now I do that for IAS as well as for agents who are contracted under IAS. So I'm what you might call a nerd. I love all things software, automation, and I'm always looking for ways to make things a little bit simpler for the agents. So now that we've introduced ourselves, I want to go ahead and dive in. Jacob, I want to start with you because the first step, obviously, in selling marketplace plans is to get certified. And a lot of agents who haven't sold before aren't aware of this process. So can you walk us through FFM certification, how long it takes, and where to even get started with that?
Yeah, definitely. So the marketplace training and FFM, it's actually not available until October. So early October, we'll be looking forward to that. But we strongly recommend going ahead and getting registered by setting up an account on cms.gov. This will make sure you get a notification once the training and certification is available.
Perfect. And so if I understand correctly, you're going to be sending everyone an email with those instructions on how to get that going?
Yep, that's correct. We'll be sending out an email to each of you after this webinar with instructions on how to get set up on cms.gov for the certification, as well as a link to complete your appointments with any of the ACA carriers.
Perfect. So obviously, the next step, you get certified, and now you want to get contracted. So can you tell everyone who the major players are this year for ACA, and what does that contracting period look like? Because I know that some people are saying it's important to get that done before a certain time, or you could miss open enrollment. What does that look like?
Yeah, definitely. So the major players this year are Ambetter, Anthem, Bright Health, Cigna, Molina, Oscar, Friday, and United Healthcare, which one thing that confuses people is a lot of people are approved to sell under 65 United Healthcare. But even if you have that, you will still need to get appointed with their ACA plans. One thing to note, like you asked, is it's extremely important to complete your certification and the appointments as soon as possible. If you wait until last minute, you risk a processing delay, which could end up with you not being able to sell ACA until like halfway through open enrollment. So really, a rule of thumb would be before October 20th to have everything submitted and taken care of.
Yeah, and that's huge because I remember last year there were several agents who missed that enrollment period altogether because they waited. And then what happens is these carriers are so bogged down processing applications that they don't have time really to go through contracting. So yeah, so that's really good. So just to confirm, at the end of this webinar, Jacob is going to be sending you guys an email with instructions on how to get registered to do the FFM certification. You can't do it right now, but it's going to be just a few days down the road. It's important to go ahead and register now so that you'll get those notices. And I also kind of want to ask you, Jacob, let's move on and talk about once you're certified, once you've got the contracting, how do you talk to the customers? What type of discovery questions are you asking to determine whether ACA is better for them than private market, or vice versa? And what things are you asking them? How do you explain what ACA is?
Yeah. So there's really two main reasons that somebody would want to go with an ACA plan over a private market plan. The first is their income is too low to afford a private plan. So the government has actually raised the income level to qualify for subsidies on ACA. So if a client's income is right around or below $40,000 a year, it's smart to look at both an ACA plan as well as a private market plan. If they're much lower, they probably going to want to go ACA. The second reason is they have medical conditions that prevent them from qualifying for a private plan. So digging in to ask prospects their medical history, like type 1 diabetes, or if they're currently pregnant, that will tell you if they're going to be better suited for an ACA plan.
Right. And then I know there's major differences in network between a PPO, an HMO, and EPO. Typically, if I'm correct, ACA plans are going to be HMO and EPO, which doesn't travel well. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. With an HMO, you're really, you kind of have your hands tied. If you're traveling, you may not have coverage. You really only have coverage in your immediate area. With the private plans, you can get a PPO, which will cover you, wherever you're at, usually in the United States.
Right. Okay. So Greg, I know you have some really innovative ideas on how to bundle products for the customer's best interest, and obviously that's a great way to boost commissions as well. But what are some things that you've seen working for agents, and how can an agent determine pretty quickly what's going to be worth presenting to them and what is not?
So I've been talking to a lot of agents, not just recently, but throughout my career as far as recruiting for all these agencies and companies. And the ACA, what came around in, I think the first year was 2013, maybe 2014, and it was very lucrative. It was like shooting fish in a barrel, and you got real big commissions too. But as we all found out, a lot of the carriers, because of the confusion of the payment, the first payment going through .gov, they didn't get paid. So it left a sour taste in a lot of agents' memories. And it's been ironed out since then, but the commissions aren't as big. So what you want to do, if you're going to take the time to be selling to this client, why not give them a complete package that's not only going to be good for them and well thought out and creative, but it's going to make you, the agent, a lot more money. So instead of, trying to just push them into a low deductible plan where, they might be paying $200 more for that luxury, get them into a bronze plan, get them into a silver plan with a higher deductible, and then more efficiently cover that gap with gap insurance, which is going to be cheaper for them. It's going to be an overall savings to them, and it's going to boost your commission. So you're doing something nice for the client. You're doing something good for yourself. And a lot of times you can save them enough money, depending on what their income situation is and what kind of subsidy they're getting. You also could tack some other things in it. And something that's very popular with ACA, maybe the most popular thing besides gap, is dental, vision, and hearing.
Right.
So we'll be talking a lot about that today. But that's how you make a complete package.
Yeah. So you're talking about gap insurance. I'm assuming indemnity plans is more specifically.
Yeah, it will cover their, as soon as they enter the hospital, it gives them a payout. So that would cover that deductible on top of some other things that would even be better than having a no deductible plan on their ACA.
Right. A lot of these indemnity plans too are guaranteed renewable, so you don't have to worry about being kicked off the coverage and applying every year as health issues may pop up. So that's huge too. But I want to pop up we have a little bit of some numbers put together that Greg did for us today. I'm going to post that now just to give you guys a good idea of what you could be making if you go with ACA and throw in just dental alone. And then we'll get into more detail about these indemnity plans. Let me share my screen here. Let me know, can you guys see that all right?
I see it good, so I'm hoping they see it.
Perfect. Greg, I'll let you walk us through this.
So when you look at these, a lot of times people shy away from the ACA, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not like you're going to have agencies out there that either make their living on the ACA or they make their living on alternative products, and a lot of times there's no in between. Well, with us, we paint majestically in the in between. So we like both. What we don't, I think the thing with IAS, we're all, and this is something I really love about our staff, we all are free thinkers, and we don't get all pumped up about one particular type of sale, one particular company. I guess, in short, none of us have drank the Kool-Aid.
Right.
We want to go where the business is easiest, where it's best for the client and best for our agents. We don't do that. We don't constantly make those kind of tweaks in our system. we're not going to be that top agency that we want to be in the country. So what we do is we bring to the table common sense and the best products around. And we also bring, and this is important, this right here reflects it, we bring the best commissions. We are working on a very, very small piece of the action. We're trying to build the biggest agency. To do that, we have to give you the best products, the biggest commissions. So if you look at this and you've been looking at something like, or in the past been using referral systems or something lesser than this for the ACA and saying, wait a minute, this looks like great commissions for what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. We're giving out great commissions. And we're not only giving great commissions out on the ACA, meaning the full agent commission, we're not tapping in to the agent percentage of the commission whatsoever. Because we are big, because we have the reputation, we have worked a small little bonus for ourselves and give out the full agent commission. We also have software packages so that you punch in that client's data once and you get every product that's available on the ACA for that client. One of the other things I want to point out real quick while we're talking about this is the biggest company in the country is back in the ACA marketplace, United Healthcare. And if you originally sold United Healthcare, like my old company, Visionary Insurance Partners did, we're in the top 5 for the country for that product. And you didn't get paid and you say, oh no, I'm never going to use them again. It wasn't necessarily 100% their fault. It was the integration with .gov in that initial payment that killed agents from those days. So they're coming back and they're going to be strong and they're going to pay strong commissions. But more importantly, one of the bigger complaints we're hearing lately, because people have gotten over their sticker shock with the ACA, or there is no sticker shock because they're getting a 95% subsidy. And that premium looks great when you're getting a huge subsidy. So then what would the next issue be? Well, the doctors. This is a horrible network. I don't want to be in this network. I don't want to be in this XYZ ABC. United Healthcare is going to come into this marketplace with the best network available. And lastly, when it comes to United Healthcare, because they're the new guy they're the old new guy on the block. If you say, all right, I'm already licensed with United Healthcare, so I'm ready to go. Like Jacob pointed out at the beginning of this meeting, it doesn't matter. Those other products, their Protector Guard, their short-term med, very great products. This is a different contracting, and I urge you to consider us, take a look at us, at minimum, compare what we're going to pay you on United Healthcare business versus the other guys. And we have all those other products too. But to look at this now, to dig into this actual example here, we have 3 different examples here. We have a single, we have a husband and wife, and we have a full family. And all we're throwing on here, we're not throwing the gap plan on, we're just throwing on dental, vision, hearing. And this is what it looks like, and it can be this lucrative. In the past, I told, people would tell me, hey, Greg, we'd like to get involved with the ACA during open enrollment because it's like shooting fish in a barrel, but we don't get paid much. We get paid maybe a $50, $75, at best $100 finder's fee. We kick it over to Health Sherpa or something like that. Yeah, it's easy, but we do have to still take about an hour of our time enrolling these people on .gov, especially if we're going through the subsidy calculator, which you usually are. I don't know many people hopping into the ACA that are paying full price. Those are the ones that we're going to kick over to one of our other companies, the Manhattan Lifes, the United Healthcares, the National Generals, where you're going to make the real big bucks and do a lot of other ancillary sales because these people are coming to the table with some money and you're going to show them how to save some money too. But just sticking with ACA today, if you look in that first example, one person sale, $660 annual commission is a lot better than most agents have been, experiencing. It's an hour of your time, basically, $660. If that happens to be a husband and wife, double that to $1,320. That is the commission we're looking at. The typical commission we're going to be paying out on the ACA. and our dental, vision, hearing commission. And then if you look at a family of 4, this would be roughly the same, whether it's a family of 4, family of 3, family of 5. We use the family of 4. But you're talking about $2,280 annually. Yep. And then what we did here is we just showed if you did all 3 of these sales every day, you'd be making $312,000 a year. Now, I know that isn't necessarily feasible, having 3 sales a day. But during this time of year, if you're using the lead systems that are out there, and this time of year, they're dirt cheap, because keep in mind, everybody, we're not looking for sophisticated people coming into the ACA. We're looking for sheep. And when you're talking about people that are just looking for the best savings possible, we actually have found robo-dialers to work real well. And it's the only time of year they work real well, because the little message that goes out is talking about getting people free coverage. Right. And we know how many people respond to that. And during any other time of year, that's not going to work. But this time of year, it works if you're putting them into the ACA. So I would recommend not only getting your FFM training in place and all your appointments, but line up a lead source, and we can help you with that. We have a lot of experience with that. And this time of year, it never gets easier, especially if you're dealing with the ACA. So this is your potential. If you take this to a lesser extreme of 1 sale a day, right, let's bring it down to 100,000. And then don't forget, I imagine a lot of you are going to tack on, and we're going to get into these kind of presentations more as we get into open enrollment. And we're going to be tacking, we're not just going to show dental, vision, hearing. We want to keep it simple for today as an introductory. We're going to show you tacking on a gap plan, tacking on a cancer plan, tacking on an accident plan. Well, then all of a sudden, you know, these 75 days that we're talking about and the commissions you can make, I would say if you follow our instruction in the products we have to offer, if you're selling 1 sale a day, two a week maybe, if you're doing it the right way and you're mixing in some other products with it, during these 75 days, you can easily make $100,000.
Yeah. You can definitely make a full income off of just, which typically,
open enrollment.
Yeah, what's typically only a month and a half. Now they're giving us all this extra time. So, and keep in mind, like, a lot of people don't know that you can buy insurance all year long. So some of these sales are going to be private market, because that's going to be what's better for the customer. And that's going to be even higher commissions than what we're looking at here on this sheet. But this is the time of year that everybody is looking, and that even includes employers. So if you like to sell group plans, this is the time to do it. This is when they're looking to sign up their employees for the next year's coverage. So it's an exciting time, but you have to get prepared. You have to get your certification. You have to get contracted, and the time is now. October 1st. But don't delay, because you don't want to miss out on this period. And the one thing that Greg brought up with all these bundling, keep in mind that you're not going to be receiving your ACA commissions until January. So if you're only selling ACA, you're not giving them dental, you're not even offering those other products, you're going to be doing a lot of selling. If you're buying leads, if you're paying for robocalls, if you're doing these other things, you're going to be spending a lot of money and not bringing anything in until January. But if you're giving them extra coverage, that benefits them. Obviously, we don't bundle just to bundle. But if you're giving them something that's also going to help them, then you can start making those commissions right away off of those other products while you wait for those ACA commissions to start coming in January. So that's going to be really helpful too.
And Mindy, that's a very strong point, because a lot of agents who don't do this on a regular basis,
right,
that can be a shocker when they realize, oh my God, I don't get paid my commissions till the end of open enrollment. And then let's not forget that this is 30 days longer. So if you're waiting 45 days to get paid, it wasn't so big. Also, let's not forget that Last year, what did Biden do? He opened a special enrollment for 6 months. There's a good chance he could extend this open enrollment period as well. And when that happens, there's that delay on your commission. So it could crush you. I mean, I don't know how many agents have a huge bank account to float that kind of money till it comes in, or are willing to take out a loan. But keep that in mind. Then also add to this that I don't care if you're purely prospecting for ACA. And I don't know many agents that do that unless they're working in an ACA call center. So with us, we're going to make you very aware that there's going to be a lot of other sales coming in. And I'm not talking about other sales bundling. I'm talking about the base sale, not being ACA, being a Manhattan Life affordable choice, a United Healthcare Protector Guard, a National General short-term med. And then forget about what you're seeing here as that base commission of $300 for a single. It's going to be more like $2,000 for a single, $5,000 for a family. And now the mix becomes really lucrative.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they don't qualify for a subsidy, typically the insurance through ACA is way more expensive than private market. And we've got, like you said, National General, we've got a short-term plan that has a $2,500 max out of pocket. That's huge for a private market plan. And I think it's unlimited urgent care visits too, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
On that National General.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd love to, I know this is a little bit off topic, but we talk about adding dental. Everybody needs dental. And it's such an easy thing to add on, because if you don't have dental, we all know, let's say a root canal pops up, there's a couple $1,000s out of your pocket. So it definitely makes sense to have dental. I'd love to have you tell them just quickly about the Select Dental plan that just rolled out.
So the Select Dental plan that just rolled out is through Manhattan Life. And I know a lot of agents we're getting a lot of calls because of this plan. And a lot of agents aren't familiar with Manhattan Life, and they're getting appointed. We are the biggest agency in the country. We have Carrie Jacobs. She's not on today, but you're going to get to meet her too. #1 in the country last year. So she blew every other agent away, and she's very, very inspirational to talk to, and she'll give you a lot of tips on what she did to be #1. And that's well over $1 million of premium that she did.
Yeah. And
that was in actually less than 9 months, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was less than, Yeah. And
but
so impressive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She became the #1 seller for Manhattan Life in 6 months, which is huge. And she, from what I understand, she sold more in 1 year than any other agent ever has. And she is our agent manager and trainer. She's a highly sought after trainer. But you can get with us, you can get as much one-on-one training with her as you need. So that's a good thing to note.
And you said dental, vision, hearing. So one of the things Carrie will tell you is she would even, and she's becoming this way now, more of a bundler. She wants to be more of a bundler now. And one of the things that she brought up was, wow, the dental, vision, hearing with Manhattan Life really improved since when I was starting. I had a dental, vision, hearing plan this easy to sell, this powerful, $3,000 of benefit. You don't have to wait for any services except orthodontia. Orthodontia is the only thing you have to wait 12 months. It covers inlays, crowns. It covers dentures and orthodontia. So it's one of the most comprehensive plans out there. And if you're selling whether you're selling the ACA or an underwritten plan, a lot of the agents we talk to, when they say, hey, I'm selling the ACA, Greg, it's guaranteed issue. The products that I have to bundle with this, it's got to be also guaranteed issue or very simple underwriting, because I don't want to throw in a heavily underwritten plan with the ACA on the side, because it just doesn't make sense. Well, this dental, vision, hearing is guaranteed issue to age 99, and you can keep it for life. So whether you're selling the ACA or you're doing, annual enrollment period for Medicare stuff. And I know you guys all know this, every agent knows it. The older you get, the more important dental, vision, and hearing become to people. And what else becomes very important is that they can pick their own provider. Manhattan Life is one of the only plans I've seen out there, might be the only plan, where wherever you go, whatever dentist, whatever vision provider, whatever hearing, there's no list. You get full, usual, customary, and reasonable payout no matter where you go. And $3,000 of annual benefit. I don't know any plan that comes close to that.
Yeah, there is some comparable. If you're selling Emeritus, you're probably familiar with something similar to this, but Emeritus prices are very high compared to Manhattan, and their commissions are very low. Whereas Manhattan Life is going to be way more affordable, and you get a much higher commission as an agent. So it's better for everybody across the board. But yeah, so I don't want to take too much of everybody's time. I know we're rolling on 30 minutes here. We promised we would keep it between 30 to 40. We are going to be having a part 2 to this training where we get more in depth with products and with marketing strategies. I'm just going to touch on these really lightly here. A couple things you can do for your marketing. Buying leads obviously is an option. If you're selling ACA, you don't have to put those filters on where you're asking for no medical conditions, no pregnancy, things like that. So leads are much cheaper. You can get them for as cheap as $4. I've seen $3.50, but you're going to be fighting for those. But yeah, I mean, if you could get a $4 lead and spend $100 a day, that's 25 leads. That's a good chunk. And especially if you're accepting people with all medical conditions, it's such an easy sell because their options are so limited. ACA typically is the way to go. So you can buy leads, you can do a marketing campaign, and you absolutely should do a campaign to your current book of business. Because if you're not, I guarantee somebody else is marketing to those people. So make sure you get in front of it, start marketing that around October 15th. Don't let somebody else get to them first. Robocalls, Greg mentioned, you definitely want to have a solid CRM with some marketing built in that's having some automated texts and emails going out. Voicemail drops are an excellent thing to add into that. And if you guys want more help with all of this, our marketing department can absolutely help you. So that's something that we can work on with you. And there's a lot of volume during ACA. So you can set up something like Calendly, a calendar system where you are booking appointments. If you've never used a VA, this might be a good time to look into that. Have a VA helping you answer those calls, set appointments for you. And that way, when you get on the phone, you're talking to somebody that's ready to buy because they've put that effort in, done the discovery call, and you're jumping on just helping them find the best option. So we'll get in more in depth on our second training with all of that, but keep an eye out for the email from Jacob so you can get registered and be ready. We can start talking to you about contracting as well. And let's see. Other than that, just thank you for joining us. Guys, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, just keep in mind during this, again, one of the most beautiful things about open enrollment period is no matter what products you're selling when it comes to health insurance, there's a high awareness because of all the advertising going on. So whether people are hearing a lot of commercials about, the ACA, AKA Obamacare, whatever it might be, this awareness kicks in. And during this last quarter of the year, about 75% of health insurance sales are made. I have a lot of agents. They only work during these 3 months and they take off the rest of the year and they're making 6 figures. So go out there, start planning, get your FFM, make sure that you get appointed with all the companies. With us, one stop, you got them all, you got the software, and we're given the full writing agent commission out. Keep that in mind. And finally, get involved with a lead source. They're dirt cheap right now. We'll all help you. At IAS, we have a lot of experience buying leads because we spent thousands and thousands of dollars experimenting with leads. We can tell you what's going to be the most efficient for your budget.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, with us, if you're already selling for another FMO or another agency, it doesn't matter. We're not captive. We work a lot differently. We're here to support the agents. We can help you with anything you need. ACA, you're definitely going to get bigger commissions over here just because Greg's experience and Lloyd and the other people in our company have so much connections and experience in the industry that we were able to land the top contracts in the country. So that's why we're able to forward those on to you guys. But again, if you need help, call us 1-800-455-0681. You can email us at support@iasplans.com. And we're here to help. So I hope you all have a good rest of the day. Happy selling. And we'll see you on part 2. We'll be sending out invites to all of you here in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Thanks, everybody. Look forward to talking to anyone.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.